change the subject for a moment, because joining us now is the former leader of the Labour Party, now the independent Islington MP, Jeremy Corbyn.
Fine,
good evening.
Thanks,
yeah. And congratulations on your win. Do you want to congratulate Keir Starmer?
Thank you. We had a great result here tonight in Islington North.
Sorry, go on. There's a delay on the line, Mr. Corbyn. So just tell us how you feel about your win and what you think about Keir Starmer
at the same time. It's a fantastic win we've achieved here tonight in Islington North. It's a popular win where people have come forward to support an inclusive democratic campaign. It's a people-powered campaign, and I'm very, very proud of our result. Obviously, as a Labour government elected, congratulations on that. I will be an independent MP, that's what I've been elected as, and I will be there holding that government to account on issues of child poverty, of mental health, and of global peace and environmental demands. And that is what the people of Islington North have asked me to do. But it's also a very strong message that if you tread on democracy within your own party, it has consequences. And so tonight, the people of Islington North have spoken and elected me with 24,000 votes.
But isn't the message, in fact, that when you take the Labour Party to the centre, it wins a landslide? And if that means, you know, you're on the edges of it, sometimes supporting it, sometimes criticising it, well, so be it.
It's a landslide, yes, in seats, but it is a lower vote than has been achieved in many previous elections. It's only 37% of the national poll, and our political system exaggerates parliamentary majorities because of first-past-the-post system. Now, maybe that's a debate for another day, but it comes with it a huge responsibility. We live in a country which is dominated by the power of billionaires and the poverty of millions. I think we need to change that. And I'm not convinced that the Labour manifesto's economic offer will be able to deliver the fundamental changes our society needs. So I'll be a voice to try and bring about greater equality and opportunity for everyone in our society, particularly young people.
Let us just bring in a couple of the people around our table. We have Harriet Harman and Alistair Campbell, and I'm sure they're both keen to talk to you. Harriet.
Well, I think you make the changes that Jeremy says that he espouses by having Labour as the party in government, not by having somebody standing against the party as a maverick on the backbenches. And I think, you know, we've always stood for in the party collective endeavour. Sometimes things go our way, sometimes they don't, but collective endeavour on behalf of the people of the country as a whole. And what Jeremy Corbyn has done is stood out just as an individual and put himself as an individual above social progress for the country as a whole. And I just don't agree with that. I would never do that, put my own interests above the party and the good the party can do the country. So I'm disappointed in you, Jeremy, but I expect that's nothing new.
Well, thank you for what you've just said there. The people of Islington North simply voted for me because we put forward a positive, inclusive campaign, because we offered hope of real change, and also we stood up for democracy within our society when the Labour Party's machinery was destroying democracy in Islington North.
Jeremy, it's Alistair. Would you hope that one day, like me, having been expelled from the Labour Party, that you'd get back into it?
Listen, Alistair, we've just had an election. I've been elected as an independent MP. I am very much part of the wider Labour movement. I've been a trade unionist all my life, and I'll be a trade unionist to the day I die. And I will obviously be campaigning and working with people both inside and outside the Labour Party. But I've been elected as an independent, and that's the mandate I've been given.
Jeremy, it's Rory coming in here. Are you worried that Labour's going to come in with a kind of mini austerity? They're signing up to £18 billion worth of spending cuts. They're ruling out any additional borrowing. They're ruling out tax rises. How are they going to be able to invest in public services and get the country going again if they're running on an austerity package?
I think you've taken us straight to the kernel of the problem. If the Labour manifesto doesn't offer any substantial changes either in taxation or in redistribution of wealth within our society, then how on earth can you bring about the social changes that are needed? Or are you going to go down the road of further wage freezes on top of the 20% cut in the living standards of the poorest people over the past 15 years? People voted for change and they expect to get it. So I would imagine there's going to have to be some serious heart searching about the economic direction in which this government is going to go, because if it doesn't deliver fundamental change, there's going to be a lot of very angry people out there.
Jeremy, can I ask you one other question? What, if you were still the leader of the Labour Party, what would you do to handle what seems to be one of the developing stories this evening, which is that there is something of the rise of the radical right in this country? What, in your view, is the best way for the Labour Party to tackle that?
Good question, Alistair, if I may say so. The rise of the far right across Europe and the titanic struggle that's now going on in France with the second round voting this Sunday is very, very serious. The far right has risen because centre parties have moved to the right to try and mop up the support of the far right. Social democratic and centrist parties have moved a bit to the right with them. And we've had some appalling examples of blaming refugees, blaming migrants, blaming boat people that have made a perilous journey to try and get to a place of safety, as if they're the cause of the social problems of our society. Let's stop blaming minorities and start looking at the fundamental inequalities of our society. The message I put out throughout this campaign in my own constituency of Islington North is I am not getting into that of blaming people who've come, for example, from Bangladesh or somewhere else. I'm instead saying bring people together so we solve our problems together. And I think the rise of the far right is dangerous. You won't beat the far right by conceding the ground to the far right. You have to make a stand against their horrible message of hate and division.
Jeremy, just finally, before we lose you, I just want to fill in the viewers on the fact that Johnny Mercer has lost his seat and Therese Coffey, former cabinet minister, has also lost her seat. But I just want to finally ask you also about Labour's position on Israel-Gaza, which has been costly to the party tonight. Jonathan Ashworth has lost his seat. Other people are in trouble over it. What's the lesson?
Well, the lesson is that people are appalled when they see the pictures of the destruction of Gaza. 30,000 and more people have already died in Gaza, and we are complicit because we're supplying weapons to Israel which are used to bomb Gaza. There has to be a ceasefire. There has to be recognition of the state of Palestine. There has to be justice for the Palestinian people. And that is a message that resonates with millions in this country, be they Muslim, Jewish, Christian or of no particular faith. And I think the incoming government needs to reflect that the people that have spoken out about Gaza are not going to go away, are not going to shut up. They're going to carry on speaking out until the killing ends and we see justice for the people of Palestine.
Should Keir Starmer recognise the Palestinian state?
He should recognise the Palestinian state, but the last statement I heard from him appeared to be having so many caveats in it. It's not clear when or how that recognition will come about.
Jeremy Corbyn, thank you very much.